This video is sponsored by AnimeRiot.com. You can get Naruto or any other anime clothing from there for cheap. There's a discount code ABDSquad, 10% off your whole order. I was wearing it in the reaction videos, for example. It looks pretty good. People comment on it like, damn, you look good. Go check it out. So as always, be sure to leave your opinion in the comments section at the end of the video on whether or not you agree or understand the concept I am going to explain. In today's video, I am completely just going to focus on Mitsuki and the debate he has in his head regarding Boruto being his son and the concept of free will, which is kinda explored every now and then with Mitsuki's character and even in today's episode. In Boruto episode 71, Mitsuki questions the concept of his attachment to Boruto, much like how a chick presumed Inojin to be its mother, thus had unconditional love or thoughts. This triggered many thoughts in my head regarding the concept of free will, because this is a very philosophical and deep subject matter still discussed today. Is free will an illusion? For example, the decisions you make on a day-to-day basis, is that truly yourself making those decisions, or are we living in the Truman world? Think about it for a second. When you choose to eat food, much like how Mitsuki went to the restaurant with Boruto in today's episode, are you choosing to eat food due to your free will, or is it because your stomach is hungry and you're forced to? Your hunger for food is something you cannot control. You cannot control your mind not to signal to your brain that you should eat. Therefore, when you decide to eat food, thus signaling to your brain calories have been taken in, was it your decision that you wanted to eat food, or was it the brain and the stomach predetermining your decision to do so? This is what Mitsuki explored in this entire episode, and I guess throughout his appearance in the whole show in the future, till the truth is revealed to us on what he's programmed to be. So in Mitsuki's case, you can say maybe being born by unnatural means already dictated his destiny, as his own inner purpose to find Boruto was in fact not ever really his choice, but in fact only the outcome of someone else's desires. What if Orochimaru has still instilled those desires, thoughts and purpose within Mitsuki, and it's not like it's not possible in Naruto's universe. Multiple people have things inside them without knowing their purpose later on. Look at Naruto as a point and shut case. Naruto had his father and mother inside him without him knowing till he was 16 years old. He also had a freaking crow come out his mouth which Itachi instilled into him. Free will is the ability to choose how to act. The notion of free will is encapsulated in your subjective experience. Although the existence of free will is treated as a self-evident fact by most, neuroscientific research suggests that there may be a more complex explanation to all of this. Humans are convinced that they make conscious choices as they live their lives, but instead it may be that their brain is just convincing itself that it made a free choice from the available options after the decision is already made. In one of the studies undertaken by Adam Baer and Paul Bloom of Yale University, the test subjects were shown 5 white circles on a computer monitor. They were told to choose one of the circles before one of them lit up red. The participants were then asked to describe whether they picked the correct circle, another one, or if they hadn't had the time to actually pick one. Statistically, people should have picked the right circle about 1 out of every 5 times, but they reported getting it right more than 20% of the time, going over 30% if the circle turned red very quickly. The scientists suggest that the findings show that the test subjects' minds were swapping around the order of events, so that it appeared that they had chosen the right circle, even if they hadn't actually had the time to do so. The brain rewrites history when it makes its choices, changing our memories so we believe what we wanted to do something before it actually happened. Another example relating back to Mitsuki's situation is looking at Sam Harris, an author and philosopher that discusses the concept of free will. In his own words, one of the problems we have in discussing consciousness scientifically is that consciousness is irreducibly subjective. Consciousness is what it's like to be you. So in Mitsuki's case, he sees Boruto as his son and seems to be enthralled with the idea to be his moon and help him stick with him through thick and thin, right? Mitsuki is questioning the idea of this, if this is something that was programmed within himself, and if he has free will and consciousness to make that decision.
From the perspective of your conscious mind, you are actually no more responsible for your next thought than you are for your birth into this world. You can see that you no more author the next thing you think than the next thing I say. Thoughts simply appear in consciousness. What are you going to think next? What am I going to say next? I could suddenly start talking about why we don't eat owls. Why don't we eat owls? They seem perfectly good. Where did that come from? It came out of nowhere as far as you're concerned, but the same thing is happening in your own mind at this moment. I mean, I'm standing up here trying to reason with you, and you will think, he does look a little like Ben Stiller. Thoughts just emerge in consciousness. We are not authoring them. That would require that we think them before we think them.
Okay, I hope you guys understood what Sam Harris was trying to say here, because it relates back to Mitsuki. If you can remember in Boruto episode 39, Orochimaru, the father of Mitsuki, had planned everything what we see of Mitsuki right now himself. Orochimaru drugged Mitsuki to delete his memories. He created a fake plot to fight his brother Log and implanted Boruto as the sun in the scroll. If Mitsuki was successful in activating his Sage Mode to escape and open it, so it was all already pre-planned. Literally everything Mitsuki knew at that point was a preemptive installation of thoughts that Orochimaru wanted him to know and have. Mitsuki doesn't even know at this point that Orochimaru wanted him to win and to take the scroll to see Boruto, because it was all a plan. That is why in episode 71, Mitsuki till this day is questioning his free will. Did he make the choice of Boruto being his son himself? How can Mitsuki know his free will is true, that the thoughts wanting to be with Boruto is his own, since we don't even know if our conscious thoughts are authored by ourselves? Our thoughts in our brain come to be, but the philosophy behind understanding why is still something we don't completely understand. Like, let me test you. Mary's mom has 4 daughters, April, May, June, and if you thought July, then you are wrong. Your brain just noticed a pattern. I said Mary's mom. The 4th name is Mary. So the people that thought of July technically just had a thought instilled in their brain through the process of how your brain perceived the question. So when Mitsuki says things such as, how does he know he has had that thought himself, since we know the concept of destiny kinda does exist in Naruto? That's why Mitsuki is questioning whether or not his destiny or life is predetermined to go through a course Orochimaru has created for him. This also gives reasons why Orochimaru does not want Mitsuki to show his Sage Mode to everyone, since it will reveal the answers to his plan and raise questions for his experiments. Orochimaru stated himself that it's something they cannot comprehend. Is it possible that Orochimaru has Tonori Otsutsuki cells from the Naruto The Last Movie mixed with Hashirama cells from the 4th Shinobi War, since he was there at the time? He could have implanted all of these things into the creation of Mitsuki. And yeah, these type of things are possible. Anything is possible when it comes to Orochimaru, and it connects all the dots as to why Mitsuki is so special in terms of his powers, his intelligence and appearance. Mitsuki is a synthetic human being. Synthetic meaning produced by chemical or biochemical synthesis, especially produced artificially. So this means the theory of deducing that knowledge has been implanted into him isn't far-fetched at all, since it's proven in the early episodes of Boruto that he's just as smart as him or even more so.
俺にとっちゃ簡単な問題でございやしたよ。
できてる。
んなことより先生、もっと骨のある問題頼むってばさ。
ほほ。
大人げねえってばさ、篠先生。
いい？まずこうやって運動方程式を計算するんだよ。ね、簡単でしょ？
So since it's proven that Mitsuki somehow is more intelligent than the rest of his class, beside the fact that he is technically 1 year old in biological terms, he's also proved in today's episode that he is more philosophically understanding regarding the metaphor that Naruto asks Boruto regarding the rocks even. What's to say information hasn't been implanted into him by Orochimaru to have preemptive thoughts or a destiny to meet his desires that make him presume he has free will to make the choices he is doing? Why is Mitsuki so intelligent for his age, right? On top of that, we have to think about why Orochimaru specifically made Mitsuki 12 years old too. I mean, he could have chosen any age by the looks of things, since Log is older than him and his brother. So this only implicates the idea that Orochimaru wanted Mitsuki to be 12 years old on purpose so that he can join the same class as Boruto to be his best friend. So it's all a conspiracy on what Orochimaru's true intentions are. I also forgot to mention last week, but it was also revealed in the last 2 episodes that Mitsuki doesn't really have the need to eat food, or it's implied that he doesn't. This means his body clearly isn't human as we thought it is. This provides like another clue that maybe Mitsuki is part alien or technically more advanced to not even require food. I mean, food obviously is one source that provides ninjas the energy they need to have 100% chakra in the first place, otherwise they can't perform as well. Like, look at Choji or Chocho or even Naruto when he complains about being hungry all the time. Food clearly makes Choji stronger than he is without it. All these questions start to add up, which makes our community open to the idea that maybe one day Mitsuki will be used as a weapon for Orochimaru or another purpose. In my opinion, I kinda want Orochimaru to be an anti-hero where he has created Mitsuki to be a perfect version of himself that he always wanted to be. And Mitsuki helped Boruto destroy the Otsutsuki or something like that. Let me know your opinion of what you guys want. My opinion will obviously change in the future because it's subjective to the events that are happening right now and the knowledge that I have now. Now, also, I am going to include a clip of mine from my Orochimaru theory, which a lot of you missed, and that will pretty much end the video in conclusion after that. Moving forward, the biggest thing I like to talk about in this video is Orochimaru's metaphor in his theme song. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the Hindi lyrics in his music which is in the background. Take a look. Orochimaru Naruto theme song. In the Shippuden, it was something sinister without the lyrics, but the interviews Kishimoto has done in the past have actually not only backed up the metaphor in the song, but re-insinuate that he may be evil in Boruto. The lyrics in the song for Orochimaru say, "Dil ki khamoshi se baat na kar," which can roughly translate to, "Don't talk to me with your dead cold heart," or "Don't talk to the silence in the heart," which is a metaphor. The explanation of the metaphor in Orochimaru's theme essentially means whatever thought and desire is in your heart, as in your true intentions. And of course, my mom gave an example of if you liked a girl, you will not reveal that thought and desire to anyone or someone else to know your heart, because if your desire and intentions got leaked, the very taste of that feeling will disappear. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? It essentially means whatever true desire you have, keep it within yourself and don't share it, because if you do, the enjoyment and taste of life of that thought could get ruined. And what does that sound like, guys and girls? Who? Oh my god, that sounds exactly like Orochimaru, right? This could also mean why till this day, even in Boruto, we question Orochimaru. Is he good or bad? Is he evil? We just don't know.